What's up, you guys? So for the update, I'm receiving nothing but hostile incoming chatter. Nothing but hostile incoming chatter. And for anyone new here, when I refer to chatter, I refer to any combination of incoming messaging, opinions, commentary, emails, phone calls, text messages, themes that are being discussed repeatedly around me in real life as well as online, etc. and so forth. Number one, first and foremost, there is, on multiple of my social media accounts, there are numerous different keywords that I have banned from being used because they have been strategically used and programmed to be used against me based off of the ways I've been traumatized in the past. This is all a form of manipulation and external control. This is not a matter of paranoia. This is a matter of an intentional effort externally, whether malicious or not, to be able to control responses, reactions, and understand the perception of a specific person. In this context, I'm that person, right? So all of those control words, as I call them, are being used strategically IRL in and out of my Uber. And there's a lot of rage baiting. It's been going on, I would say, for about 7 months now. And if you've been watching, you'd know that for about the first, I'd say 6 months of the 7, they could not catch me in a rage bait trap. I was doing really great at ignoring and not commenting. Starting about, I'd say 6 weeks ago, I've reached saturation point and then some. So there has been a lot of rage baiting. On top of that, the keyword thing, on top of that, they are attempting to program me through my radio, and they tried this before. When they tried this before, I had my alternative line with me, and I would simply put on Netflix and watch a show like Dexter or Modern Family or, any one of the shows that I like to watch to mentally distract my mind. They began using those shows, knowing that I would choose those, altering the media, the verbiages, the voices, the narrative, the script, to again touch on those keywords, those control words. So it's all about, psychological manipulation, programming, brainwashing, and then tapping into the brainwashed, manipulated control words to cause some sort of upset in a person who's already been being abused for years on end. It's very easy to bring them to a saturation point. It's disgusting. It is actually a form of torture. So that's one of the passive-aggressive ways I'm being abused currently. In addition to that, there are 3 commercials playing on my radio at all times. I do not get any other commercials, and I would say this is true approximately 90% of the time. And those 3 commercials are for Top Dog Law, Inc. and Law, which are both accident injury law groups. And then the third one is the Suicide Prevention Hotline. And this has been going on for quite some time. The more they abuse me, the more they play the suicide prevention narrative and commercials. If you're anyone who's curious about this, I more than welcome you to plant a bug, put a listening device in my car, listen to what I'm hearing. There's been a whole lot of people in my situation over the last several years who have welcomed themselves into my situation for the purpose of just being heard. They want to voice their opinion on the things I say. They don't want to do their due diligence. They don't want to investigate first. They don't want to know if the things I'm saying are true, because if they are, they have a whole different set of problems to deal with, right? Now, if Heather was never the problem to begin with, they have a whole bunch of people who fucking are the problem, okay? And those people have been repetitive in the theme of showing up in my life during the period of time when I'm being abused. They refer to themselves openly as the quote-unquote snake team, and they have shown up both in my DCFS visits as well as in my Uber. That's pretty much the only social interaction that I have. I would like to press charges against each and every single one of them, and I'd like to reiterate that I am not, nor have I ever been, a member of the United States Army, Navy, Air Force, or any of the above. I'm a civilian. My name is Heather Gillespie. You can know that it's me based on any one of the distinct markings that have been tagged up on my body without my permission. And if we're going back to discuss that, I am 1000% the victim in all of these, we'll call them operations. Scapegoat, victim, heel, take your fucking pick of terms and use it. When you start standing up strong enough to identify that you've been scapegoated by these people, that's when they lay in heavy with the mental health disorder and lack of accountability. How dare you refuse to take accountability for the situation someone else created in your life? How dare you, right? So I've been back in the fucking rabbit hole of abuse for quite some time now. I don't know why. I don't know what's so appealing about me and my life that I continue to be the chosen one with regards to breaking down and rebuilding. As far as I know, we were in a period of rebuilding Heather. This was supposed to be rebuilding Heather and her children's lives so that they could be together in happiness, in peace. I've put in enough work. I've been working since I was 14 years old without pay. Without pay. So there's a whole bunch of promises that have been made that I would never suffer in this way ever again. But here the fuck we are, right? Going through the same shit over and over and over again. Here's another great example. Monthly, okay? I had tickets through the city of Chicago. Those tickets were completely paid off 3 times. Once by me, twice by sponsors. Paid off in full. I went to go register my vehicle and get my car in my name. And of course, they said I owed $5,000 worth of tickets from 2019, which isn't true, wasn't true to begin with. We paid it off 3 times, but they were bogus tickets. They were all externally controlled and plants and manipulations and abuses and targeting. And there would be times when I would be followed home from the grocery store with my 3 small children in the car. I would be parking my car in the alleyway and unloading the groceries, and Chicago police would follow me in and then put a ticket on my car while they watched me carry bags and bags of groceries and, finagle my 3 children to get in the house. So this is nothing new. This has already been addressed on a number of occasions. Now you have Chicago claiming that I owe them another multiple groups of tickets that I do not owe, that I have already put on a payment plan. 2 weeks ago, I went into a payment location in Chicago. Apart from the payment plans that I've already got in, being arranged, that I've already been paying on for the last 8-9 months, there were 5 additional tickets, 3 of which I entered into the same payment plan that's due usually on the 14th of the month for $73. When I went in and I got a receipt and I have proof and I took photos and everything, I paid to put 3 of those 5 into my early payment plan for $73. They changed the amount to $90 a month and the due date to the 20th. If I log into my portal right now, it still says I owe on the 14th in the amount of $73. So this is not a matter of Heather not doing what she's supposed to do. This is a matter of whomever is on the other side of this being so fucking retarded that, I'm sorry, I shouldn't use that word. I want to apologize for anyone that I've offended, and that's genuine. Nothing that I ever say, ever, under any circumstances, is meant to offend anyone, okay? When I say something nasty, it's because I am overflowing with nasty, which means I've been receiving nothing but fucking nasty for a long fucking time. So I did not mean to offend anyone with that, but I'm being honest. These people are really something special, okay? And by special, I mean awful, mean, rude, terrible. They have tunnel vision in the sense of they only recognize a life of privilege and a life that they've lived as the only life that exists. They are incapable or unwilling or both to make acknowledgments as to any of the things that I've described being true. If they acknowledge the things that I've survived and have proven to be true as truth, their entire lives and what they believe in fall apart. So for that reason, they continue to gaslight innocent people like myself and others into believing that our experience is a matter of our own doing. that the poor lady who was born into extreme poverty and being raped at 4 years old and now dealing with the consequences of that type of upbringing at age 30, it's all your fault. Why aren't you taking accountability, you dumb bitch? You should have been stronger at 4 years old. You shouldn't have let them rape you. You shouldn't have let them abuse you. How dare you? Take some fucking accountability, right? Right? Isn't what I'm saying the truth? A 4-year-old who's born into some fucking sex work situation, it's her fault? The situation that unfolds around her as an adult? I'm so fucking tired of talking to people who seem to be brain dead. People are born into what the fuck they are born into. And then they do their best to be okay apart from that. Stop fucking saying that people do it to themselves. Nobody fucking makes themselves miserable. Nobody. There's no one in the world that wakes up and says, gosh, I can't wait to be miserable today. Ha ha ha. It doesn't exist, boo-boo. It's not a thing. Agree to disagree all you want. I am telling the truth and nothing but the truth. So, for the record, all of my control words, and those are words that I use to describe all of the triggers, all of the reminders of sexual assault, unlawful detainment of myself or my infant son, sexual abuse in other ways, all sorts of pressure that they put us under, extortion, etc., and so forth. All of that, it all qualifies under the umbrella of what I'm discussing. Okay? People do not create their own hells voluntarily. People do what they know how to do to survive. People have limited mental capacities and they can only handle what they can handle. And that's it. And just like going through hell, just like fucking going through hell creates the need to be stronger, more resilient, right? Lifting weights creates larger biceps. It's the same fucking thing. The more you lift, the heavier you lift, the larger your muscles become. You know, that's what they teach us. Muscles are fibers that we literally shred to pieces when we pick up something too heavy for us to carry comfortably. When we shred our muscle fibers to pieces, they heal. They grow mass because of the scar tissue around them. People don't do shit to themselves. They survive what the fuck they have to survive.